was a very humbling experience because someone had called me out at a show after the show and basically told me that I hadn't quite figured out what I was doing yet. I said, I really enjoyed your show, but you know, you're not there. You know, you're just pointing fingers at the problem. It's all rage and not enough questions. The great protest songs ask questions, and there's not enough of them in your music. And rather than, you know, lash out, I thought about what he said, and he was absolutely right. And so I went home you know, and my wife was asleep with her head on my leg, and I had a laptop on my other leg, and I just started asking the questions. And I started thinking about Ron Paul and how he's been this lone voice of sanity in this ocean of degenerates for 40 years, and what it's like to be one person alone. Because the number one thing I get when I'm touring is that people don't feel they can affect change because they're just one person, and we've been trained to feel isolated and alone. And I wrote this song, and he inspired this song, and it's for anybody who's ever felt that way. It's called Liberty. Sit down when all should be standing, and why do we back down at the critical moment, like running away from the waves of the ocean? We head for the hills with the high tide approaching, as sand slips away from the castle. When it's time to stand upright, why do we falter, like placing our freedom on the sacrificial altar? We hold tight to our fears and defend our oppressors as we fight for their lives and become the transgressors, as pacifists transform to violent aggressors. Time to stand up for freedom? Could it be when you start to fear creating children who'll inherit the pain and the debt of this nation and be slaves to the banks that cause hyperinflation, who are masters of commerce, lies, and bad legislation? Their innocence stolen as the red flag of tyranny flies in the open. Is that when you'll finally notice? Whoa, I'm only a stranger here. I'm a long, long way from my home, and they say I can't change all the things I find strange. What can one man do alone? Say, what can one man do alone? I'm only a stranger looking to find better nature in my fellow man, but they keep telling me it's a sin to be free, and it's more than I'm willing to stand. So where will you be when the order is given to censor your mind, as free speech is forbidden, as martyrs for peace from the world will be driven away by the sound of a bellowing thunder? It choke on the blood of our dream going under.
again.